So I'm extremely bothered, right? Uh so yesterday, right? I woke up and my friend texted me. He's like, "Yo, Juice World died." So I'm like, "Nah, yo, like ain't no way. Let me go check Twitter." So I go on Twitter and like he actually died. I'm like, "Oh, like yo, this is crazy." So I'm just completely bothered just by the fact of how this just keeps occurring, and it's been more frequent, and it's more often, and it's the same like cause of death. So his birthday was this week, and he said like on Instagram that like, yeah, my birthday was yesterday, but we gonna party all week. So like, of course, like, yo, enjoy yourself, have a great time. Like we want that for you, like it's your birthday. But I don't think people are realizing the extreme that people go. Like it's okay to go hard and everything, but I think it's to a point that you gotta chill. Um, so my whole thing is though. So Juice World was 21. Like he just turned 21. Like, and I'm tripping because of how close in age we are. Like he honestly was only a year older than me. So for him to just die so young, and from what he died from, is just like it's unfortunate, and it's just like not again, like not again. And I'm just bothered by the fact of for how young he was, and just like why, like just a why. So if y'all don't know, I was waiting to do this video because I'm like I want to get all the facts in order to say what I really have to say. So they said where is it at? They said Juice World was reportedly seen swallowing multiple Percocets to hide from the feds when his jet landed. So if you listen to his music anyways, this was like something that was regular of him. He took perks, he was like, he's doing pills, drinking lean and all that. Like this was regular. And to be honest with you, like, I mean, with it being reflected in his music, to me, not that he was having a cry for help, but like in a way, I think this stuff was looked at as a cry for help. Like he might have been okay, like it seemed like he was okay, like overall, just as a person, but like mentally and just who knows how he was always feeling. Like maybe he didn't open up about certain things, or he did to certain people, but like he probably wasn't getting the help he truly needed. This situation is definitely unfortunate, and it's not like he just was having a good time and then like just overdosed. But it's just the fact that he overdosed, and like him just using the pills was something like normal of him. Like this was a normal habit of his. I just feel like yo, they need to be put away, bruh. Like they need to be put away. It's and for the fact, so it's so many artists just blowing up and they're young, right? Like he didn't even reach his peak, bro. Like he was just coming up still. He had what 3 billion streams on Spotify. Yo, for 21, that is nuts, bro. But like the young success, he was like a young visionary, a young creative, like, and he was really just coming up. It's sad because for the people that have died recently, all the young artists that have died because of either overdose or just something unfortunate happening, it was at a time in their life where something was about to be even better. Like they were about to get better. And I just find it so unfortunate and so like drastic at the time. It's just like damn, like why now, you know? But I just think it's people need to get off of these perks and the lean. Like it, you've seen too many results of how bad it can go. Like, and mind you, the choice he made, okay, swallowing the perks just to hide from the feds, that wasn't a smart choice. I understand why he did it, but I wouldn't have done that. Like I would have just threw him away or something. But I just think people need to start like really being there more and just I guess understanding people more, like having the conversations, of course, like because he talked about it in his music all the time, bro. Like, I wouldn't you think, okay, maybe like that's his lane or whatever, but wouldn't you think at a point in time it's like, all right, and I'm not blaming this on nobody who was around because it's not their fault, because free will and he's his own man, but I would, yo, it's to a point I'd be like, yo, like, nah, like you're not doing that, dog. Like you're not doing that. I wouldn't even allow you to do that. He might have did that on the sly tip, but I wouldn't just let somebody, and then hearing it over and over again and just knowing that, like, okay, it sounds like he's suffering from depression, and other mental health issues that he has occurring, just going on. Like you could see it in his music, in his tweets. I mean, I didn't know him, but like probably the way he talked about things or how he moved, you could see stuff like that reflecting from just his life. I just really feel like that, in a sense, people need to be held accountable for allowing certain things to happen. Like, okay, maybe y'all all pop perks and like drink lean, but yo, after seeing stuff happen just over and over again, and the effects, like, it's like the addiction you have is just, you can't control that because it must be too good, and for the problems he must have had, it gets to a point that you like, all right, well, this isn't doing it anymore, so I got to do that in order to feel this way, like you want to feel numb in a sense instead of just getting high, because it doesn't do anything anymore. It doesn't feel the same anymore. And I just feel like people should, like, and what I mean by accountable is just be like, all right, I'm not going to allow this to happen because I know the limits and what could happen if, because your tolerance will start to go up, and his tolerance was probably high as hell. So it's like, all right, like, nah, like, bro, like, chill, like, and if it gets to the point like, yo, like, you gotta be physical or you gotta like throw it away, like, yo, like, I think that's way more important than, I would rather have that happen, to have that conflict between the two, because at the end of the day it was love. Like, you did that out of love for the person. So I'm not blaming it on the people that he was around, but I just feel like people should have been more aware of what was happening, like what was going on with him. Like maybe he needed more help with something, because he obviously had an addiction, like, and it was seen in his music. It was just seen in everything, and it's even more unfortunate because of how young he was and just how he was coming up. Like he was like I said, like young visionary, young creative. He was about to like really blow, like, and his music was great. Like, I'm not gonna sit over here and be like, oh, I was the biggest fan, but I did like have an ear, and I did listen to him and had my own opinion, and I fuck with it. That shit was that shit was tough. To also shed some more light onto the situation, um, I just wanna I people really have to pay attention to what they put out into the universe and all the things that they say, because if like you really listen to the music and you hear the lyrics, it was a lot of like in a way hints of his death, because he talked a lot about what he said. He said something about, Herbal says, stop taking them Xannies for a flat line. He also talked about what's the 27 club? We ain't gonna make it past 21. And I don't know if y'all, like, if anybody's big into the law of attraction, but like what you say and what you think about a lot manifests into like real life. Like it will become true. And I just think, like, for him to just talk about, it seems like I feel like he talked about and like thought about his death a lot, and just how, like, because it was said so much, and how he talks about his addiction, and he talks about Like, he knows it's not good, and he just talks about how, like, yo, I just keep doing this, and like, people know it's not good, and I know it's not good, but I kind of can't help myself. And then, like, he ended up dying from this. To go on about that though, it seems like that was he was his that was what it was. He was his biggest enemy, just like in a sense like Mac Miller. Like, they they they're their own, they're fighting their demons, and like, they just aren't finding a way out of it. Like, he was maneuvering as best as he could, but he was his biggest enemy. Like, for anything to happen to him, it was caused by himself. Like, he was his own self harm, and it's just sad for it to happen the way that it did, and it's truly unfortunate. And it just can't keep occurring, bro. Like, it's no way it can. Like, I think it needs to be, some light needs to be shed on this, like, even more by just everybody. Cause okay, it's in rap music, it's supposed to be like cool, or like it sounds good, it makes the music sound good or whatever, and maybe it helps them, like, create, like, think more creative, which okay, like, I understand where you're coming from, but it's for the result that you get from it, it's not worth it, bro. It just I think the other things carry more weight over this, from all the results that are occurring. Like, this keeps happening. It's no way this is supposed to keep happening, and it's truly sad. And it just can't happen anymore, bro. It cannot. But it's just, I'm just bothered by how young he was, and how, like, the potential he was going to fulfill is never going to be filled. And honestly, like, his sound, and nobody's going to sound like that. Like, you can mimic it, but it's not Juice World, like, it's not going to be the same ever again. And I send condolences to his team. I know G Herbo hurting, Bibby, Ski Mask. I feel bad for Ski Mask. Like, I'm sorry you lost your two brothers, bro. And his girl, like, Juice WRLD was, like, it seemed like he was really coming into, he already had his own lane, but he was really, like, in his own lane. Like, he finally got his girl, the love that he was always talking about in his music. And I just, like, yo, it sucks, bro. Like, it's truly unfortunate, and, like, the perks and everything just needs to go away, dog. Like, I just feel like the access to him it's too easy to get it. Like, as soon as celebrities start having money, like, I don't know if any of y'all seen the it's this, like, Mac Miller documentary. It's like No More Excuses. He talks about how, like, he was always alone, and then, like, and he had money. So, like, he was talking about how like, boredom would hit, and he's just like, oh, like, it's nothing to do. He was like, well, might as well be high. So then it just shows, like, you see little, not images, but, like, little parts of his addiction, and it's just like, yo, this is happening too frequently because of stuff like this. Like, they have the money and they don't know what to do with it, and it's like, well, I just got all this pressure on me, or I got all this, other worries and other things that are affecting me that I don't want to deal with, or it's something that bothers them. Like, this, like, it's too much. It's too much. And he was just talking about how, like, Mac Miller was saying, like, he hated being sober, and how smoking weed didn't do it for him no more. Like, it made him more paranoid than relaxed. So then, he started doing other things, and, like, oh, I'll try that, or, like, yeah, like, I'm gonna do this. And then, like, that's when you start to go to the extreme, and you start to pass your limits, because your tolerance is up. So now you're like, all right, I'm gonna be good, and then, like, you aren't good. And it just has to stop, bro, because it's just ending too shortly. Like, it's not worth it. That high isn't worth it the pain that you're going through, the struggle, the worry, the pressure, all of that, your death is it's not gonna help anything. Like, and I understand, like, okay, you're trying to find a way out of it, but it has to be a different way, dog. It just has to. It's no way that this can keep happening, keep occurring, cause yo, they're too young, dog. Like, they're too young, and it's just like, why? Like, not to say like you can't be unhappy or anything, but why that? You know, why did you have to resort to that? I think that something has to be put into play for people to at least have like counseling or something. Like, it has to be more than just like you. People gotta check up on each other. That's what I mean by like accountable. Like, people need to be held accountable. Like, and when I say that, I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just saying, like, yo, like check up on your homies, dog. Like, check up to make sure they're mentally straight. Like, everything may be looking good. Like, oh yeah, we set him up. He got his bread and everything. But yo, are you mentally straight? Are you like are is everything good? Like, is everything good? Cause like, yo, this didn't have to happen to him. Like, I was so appalled when I saw it, and I was just like, yo, like, I'm bothered by this, dog. Like, he was just a year older than me. He just turned 21. He died. Like, he really just died yesterday, and I'm still shook by it. And I know the lane he was about to be in. He was about to break a lot of borders. He was about to like break a lot of boundaries and really expand music, cause his music it had a different sound to it. Like, nobody really sounded like Juice World, and the energy he brought, the freestyles he was like putting out, bruh, he was great. Um, and I just hope like people like realize like how much of a visionary he was and what he really was ready to do, because he was really ready to take off. The one thing that like I don't really like seeing though, and I'm all for it. Like, please pay your respects. Like, pay your respects to him, cause like, why, like, you should. But my whole thing is, bro, I don't want to see the fake love. Like, it's some things like, okay, like you're showing respect, like your support, cool, but the fake love, like, I don't. It's and what I mean by the fake love, yo, if y'all didn't fuck with him when he was alive, don't start acting fake in a sense to and fuck with him after he's dead. Like, why did you wait until now? Like, I'm not gonna be surprised if he ends up getting like a Grammy nomination or some award nomination for his album. When okay, when it came out, it was talked about. But did you hear anybody say like, "Oh, that was the best album of the year," or like, "Oh, blase, blase, blase about his album"? No, no, dog. And I just think like that's not cool. Like, yo, you just keep that, bro. Like, keep that. Like, if you was going to do it while he was alive, and like you should have known his stuff was tough, but you gonna wait until he's dead, and then now like, all right, like, well, let me check him out, let me see what he was about, and be like, oh, his shit was hard, yo, his shit been hard, dog. And I just, yo, the award shows, like, they can keep that, cause that shit's not like, that shit's not genuine, that shit's not true, cause they weren't saying none of that until he died. Like, yo, just keep it. We don't want none of it. That's not okay. That's not cool. Um, it's just like truly unfortunate, and I'm still bothered by it. Like, I kept thinking about this since I was told about it, and that was yesterday morning. Like, and I'm just tripping off of it because it's just like, yo, like another one, like, and it kind of just makes you think like who's next, or like, can, like, yo, are y'all gonna stop? Like, do y'all see what's happening to y'all peers? Like, and from everything that I've seen, I haven't heard anything bad about like Juice World at all. Like, he was on the right path to do what he was like really wanting to do. Like, he was about to really make a lot of shit shape, and to really break boundaries. He was really about to do a lot, and it's just so unfortunate that it was cut short. Because now we won't be able to see it. The lane he made in music, he made it like he was able to express his feelings and not make it how everybody want to make it seem like you're a simp or like you're soft when you express yourself as a male. But like he made it different in his music and his raps and just in the lane he was in. It was hip hop, but it sounded like I don't even know what to call it. I mean, it was hip hop and rap, but the sound was different. It wasn't like regular, like old back in the day hip hop and rap. It was he had his own touch to it, and it's just really unfortunate, bro. Like to not be able to see that, to not be able to see the growth that like the growth of what he would have became, and the change that he would have made onto the world and just into the music industry. It's just it's sad and it's just like like y'all gotta put that shit away. It's different ways to deal with your problems. It's different ways to deal with your problems. And once again I'm sorry to his mother, his team, all his brothers and everybody that was just riding for him, his support system. And I know like the fan base is hurting. Like it's unfortunate, but nah forever. R.I.P. Juice World.